Okay, welcome students. Welcome to this special session on logical reasoning. So, a lot of the students have this query on how to solve the logical reasoning passages. So, we will be discussing a few tips, tricks on solving logical reasoning passage. So, let me introduce myself. I am Siddharth Mehta. I am the author, creator of this course, Logical Reasoning Nuggets for Law Exam, wherein I cover all the aspects of logical reasoning. More on the course later on. Firstly, let us start the session. If I am audible, can you just quickly tell me in the chat box? Yeah, Pranshil, Kushagra, good evening. Very quickly in the chat box, tell me if you are if I'm audible. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Pranshil. Let us start the session now. So, what is the expected session outcome? So this session will last around 30-35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. I believe not more than 35 minutes actually. So what can you expect? So you can expect you will come to know what and how to read a passage. So what I will be basically discussing is what should you focus on when you read a passage of logical reasoning and how to read the passage of logical reasoning. Of course, there are quite a few examples that I have picked up. So it is more, I mean, less of a theoretical thing, but more of what I am going to teach you is through application of the concepts. Okay, so what we are going to do first 5-10 minutes we will be spending on what to read and how to read, and then the examples. So majority of the time will be spent on the examples. That means application of what I am suggesting. Okay, so let us begin. So can you guys tell me, when you read passages, what is your purpose? Why do you read the passage? I'm waiting for your responses in chat box. At least I should get couple of responses. So when you read passage, what is your aim, what is your purpose, what do you do, क्या करते हो, क्या approach रहती है? Sir, how to do questions where deep? I will answer all those questions later on. To understand the passage, obviously that is the basic thing. To understand the passage, that is obvious. But to understand the passage, what is the key element that is required to get the idea of the passage? Yeah, Pranshil, right? To for solving the questions, yes, of course. But while reading the passage, that should not be in your mind. Okay, to get marks, that's a beautiful answer, of course. But you cannot get marks until and unless you understand the passage. You cannot understand the passage until unless you do what I am going to suggest you. So ultimately objective is of course to get marks, but you can't get marks just by reading the passage. You have to understand it, and to understand the passage you need to know what are the key elements, what to read and how to read. So that is what we are going to do. So what to read a passage for? So whenever I read any passage, guys, I read it for two things. My purpose is very clear. I do not get emotionally attached with any passage. My purpose is clear, that I want to identify what is the main idea of the passage. Main idea of the passage also means why author has written the passage, purpose of the passage. If I can identify that, I can answer almost 60 to 70% of the questions. What is the organization of the passage? The organization of the passage means the way passage has been organized to arrive at an idea. So author has an argument in mind, what we call as argument also, right? So to arrive at that argument, author will use some facts, some inferences, some statistics. How has author arrived at that argument? If I can understand these two things, my job is done. Right. So when we are sitting, have these two things in mind. I need to understand what is the main idea of the passage. Main idea can be found by understanding what is the content of the passage and what is the author's judgment on that content. And the next thing that you should focus on is how has author organized a passage to come at a particular main idea. Now let us delve slightly deeper into this, what I call as elements of reading, which will help you to understand the main idea and organization. What you should focus on is statements with opinion of authors and stakeholders. So in a passage, there might be 20 statements, right? So in a 400 word passage, there might be 25, 30 statements which are there. So in a passage, there might be 20 plus statements, but out of those 20 plus statements, hardly two or three are of use, right? How to filter those useful statements from the other statements which are not as useful. When I'm saying useful, I'm calling them useful with respect to main idea, right? Questions can come from some facts also that are given in the passage, but those are easily doable questions. Okay. So focus on statements with opinion of authors or any of these stakeholder. Very, very important, because these are the statements which will carry the main idea of the passage. Focus on role a sentence is playing. So a lot of times we get worried about, oh my God, I do not know the meaning of this word. Or we worry about, I'm not able to understand this particular statement, what it is trying to say. But if you can understand that maybe perhaps a particular sentence is just a definition of something, you might not have understood the definition. It's perfectly fine. A particular sentence is just used as an example of something that author is trying to say. Even if you do not understand the example, it will hardly make a difference. So we as students worry a lot about meaning of the sentence. That should be least of your concern. You should worry more about what role a sentence is playing. What are the roles that a sentence can play? Basically, sentence can be used as a premise to the argument. What do you mean by the premise? Premise is something which is used as a support to build the argument or to build the idea, or it can something which can be simply a background information, although important but not the main idea, right? So there are various roles a sentence can play. What role a sentence is playing? If I can understand that, that will help me, right? Focus less on anything that is making your life difficult. My funda is very clear. If I'm not able to understand anything, let me not worry about that. Okay. And what are the things that worry us? A difficult proper noun. So a name of a particular book is given, or a particular philosophy's name is given. So we get worried. Okay, I've not heard about this philosophy. Okay, I've not heard about this term. So be it. It is just a term that has been used. Why are we worried about it? If that term is explained, then good. Go for it. Go for that. Okay. Information in terms of facts and figures. A lot of time, facts and figures are given, and we get overwhelmed by them. That so many facts and figures are given. Even if only 3 or 4 facts and figures are given, trust me, when you are solving the question, you will anyways be required to go back and refer them. Do not hesitate. Do not get worried about that. Understanding the meaning of the each sentence. As I said, focus more on understanding the role rather than meaning of each sentence. These are the two key things that you need to understand. You need to identify what is fact and what is opinion. These are the two common type of statements that you will come across in any passage. Fact is anything that can be verified and will not differ from person to person. Any statement that is verifiable and will not differ from person to person is a factual statement. Opinion will vary from person to person. For us, these statements are more important. In a passage, factual statements are of less importance. Opinionated, author's opinionated statement are more important. Mumbai is the capital of India is a factual statement, although it is not true. It is wrong, but it is a factual statement. Why? Because it can be verified. Each of you attending the class will say, no, sir, you are wrong. So it can be verified. Verified means answer can be in yes or no. So here I got answer as no, but still remains as fact. Opinion is something which will vary from person to person. Mumbai is the best city in India. There will be a debate here. So that is an opinion. So this is an important line. This is carrying my message, right? So please understand, opinionated or judgmental statements are more important. Okay. Yeah. So let us now do one small exercise. Classify the statements as fact or opinion. I am giving you 2 minutes time. These are 5 simple statements. Classify them as fact or opinion. Okay, come on, guys. Answer the questions. Fact or opinion? Okay, let me look at the first one. The approval of Covovax by DCGI is a significant milestone in strengthening the immunization efforts across India. This is an opinionated statement. What makes it opinionated? This word makes it opinionated. Now, the author, for author, it is a significant milestone. For someone else, it may not be a significant milestone. So, had the sentence been like this, that DCGI has approved Covovax, that would have been a fact. But significant milestone, debatable, is an opinion. Honesty is the best policy, is an opinion. Why? Because it can vary from person to person. Can't say, right? The Prime Minister said that world will become a dangerous place if we do not curb global warming. This is a fact. Why? Because this can be verified from Prime Minister whether you have said it. So either Prime Minister will say yes or no. So anything that is quoted किसी और की बात को बोला गया है is always fact. Whatever he has said, that doesn't matter, because what we are looking at is whether some information is verifiable or not. This information is verifiable, whether Prime Minister has said this or not. Right? Next, this is the stuff that joyful living is made of. Identifying your calling and committing yourself wholeheartedly to it. Obviously, opinion, because this is very, very vague, judgmental statement. Okay. Fifth, historians have long recognized the Japanese sword as one of the finest cutting weapons ever created. Fact. Why? Because even this can be verified whether historians have recognized Japanese sword as something, or I mean, finest cutting weapon or not. Answer could be yes or no. So anything that can be verified is a fact. Now, obviously, in one class and in 5 minute session, you can't understand everything, but at least you should have something in mind. So carry this definition with you when you are analyzing a statement. Check whether a particular statement is verifiable. Verifiable का मतलब या तो आंसर हाँ में आएगा या ना में आएगा. ठीक है? Yes or no. Opinion is something which will vary from person to person. Now let us look at this. एक स्टेप आगे बढ़ते हैं. Identify the most important sentence in the given passage. Most important sentence is the sentence for which the passage has been written, the purpose, which is mostly the judgment wala statement. All right. Right. So these are four sentences for me. Historians have long recognized the Japanese sword as one of the finest weapon ever created. Fact, not important. Setting up the context. But to regard the sword that is synonymous with samurai as merely a weapon is to ignore what makes it so special. Then author is saying that we cannot regard it as something synonymous to this. I mean, we are then ignoring what makes it special, right? So counter to S1 and author's opinion. So S2 is something which is counter to S1. It is opposite to what is mentioned in S1, right? And it is author's opinion. Important hai, could be the main idea. Third line is the factual line again. The Japanese sword has always been considered a splendid weapon. Again, can be verified whether it has always been considered. Last line is opinion. The traditional Japanese saying not only reflects the sword's importance to its wielder, but also is indicative of its importance to creator, the master smith. S4. So out of S2 and S4, this is more important. Why? Because S2 was laying up the context. Context दिया था. एक fact दिला बोला generally this is what is believed, but there is problem with the general belief. And then author is telling what is the problem with general belief. Okay, right. Chalo. Next, exercise 3. Okay. So here I have already दिख गया है आंसर तो. Okay. So what is it talking about? It is saying that in this Bible of intelligence analysis, the psychology of the psychology of intelligence analysis. What is being discussed? So first line is a factual line, S1. It basically talks about what is being discussed in this particular book. A lot of time we get worried about this, but this is just a name. Why are we worried about this? Second statement is also a fact, wherein author now gives the example from real life. S3 is the most important statement for which the entire passage has been written, right? So author wants to tell that in the current situation, there is this mirroring problem which we are doing. We are believing that Russia will behave in a similar manner, right? The way our preconceived notion suggests something of that sort. Okay. No, concept of mirror bias is not important. That is definition. And a lot of time we fall for that trap. Ekdam simple question apne aap se pucho Pranshi. The question you should ask is that which of the line author has, for which of the line author has written this passage? What is that message that he's trying to pass? Right? So he is trying to pass that message that we are doing this particular error when we are evaluating how Russia and Ukraine will behave. Okay. Chalo. Now let me for a minute talk about my course, LR Nuggets. So LR Nuggets is a self-paced video course. What do you mean by self-paced video courses? I have recorded 50 plus sessions, which are around 30 minutes ka time ka. 50 plus sessions. Recordings are going on, not recorded all, which will cover all the concepts of logical reasoning, which includes critical reasoning, analytical reasoning, because this time analytical reasoning question came in the CLAT, decision making. So it covers all the aspect of logical reasoning. I cover one topic per session and with a lot of solved examples, around 25 to 30 minutes ka video. There are practice passages that I give daily doses kind of thing, which will start in the month of July. There are sectional tests of logical reasoning, and there is a specific Telegram group which you can, join, and I will clear your doubts. Only those students who, of course, take the course. Last year, All India Rank 1, All India Rank 11 were the part of this program. Website is given here, lawentrance.com. LR Nuggets. You can search it in the Google, or we will also share it in the comment box. But please remember, search it in the Google, visit the website. Even if you do not take the course, it's okay. There are 3 trial videos there, 3 trial videos. Video number 1 is mostly covering the what is logical reasoning, deep dive into logical reasoning. Video number 2 and 3 are the ones where I discuss a lot of concepts. So at least you will know what is the teaching style and how are we structuring the course. Do visit the website once and check the trial video and check the website. Okay. So let us proceed with the next exercise. Identify the most important sentence in the given passage. Sure. Okay, so vocab used in speech or writing organizes itself in seven parts of a speech. What is this? This is a factual statement. Communication composed of these parts of a speech must be organized by rules of grammar upon which we agree. Must be organized makes it a judgmental statement. Something written with must be is an opinion. Judgmental statement can be important. When these rules break down, confusion and misunderstanding result. So, what is author trying to say is that communication should be based on some rules, which we call as grammar. When these rules break down, confusion and misunderstanding result. So, what is this statement? This statement is the effect of something which is mentioned in statement number two. S2 is important. Communication must be organized by in rules. S2 is important. S2 ka effect is S3. Negative effect is S3. When the rules break down, misunderstanding result. Bad grammar produces bad sentences. S4 is again something. I'm not saying that S3 is leading to S4, but S4 is, summary of S2 and S3 combined. Bad grammar produces bad sentences, and then author gives the example. So which is the most important sentence? You can say S2 or S4, whichever you want to say, right? But S4 is better because S4 is combining the effect of S2 and S3. S2 says that rules of grammar must be communication must be organized by rules of grammar, and if not, then there will be misunderstanding. And S4 basically summarizes that, right? So S4 is right. S4 and S3 are statements here. Come on. S1 is this statement. Statement number one is statement number two. Sorry. I mean, I sure this is what I have done in the previous ones also. Now you should focus on that. Okay. Chalo. Now this is a CLAT ka passage. The last exercise that we are going to do. A CLAT ka passage. No. Sorry, it's not a CLAT passage, guys. It is something that I have created. So, but very close to the actual one that came in the CLAT exam on economics. There was a passage on workforce and economy. So something of that sort. So just giving you 3 minutes time to read it, and then we will proceed. Okay, guys, let me know when you are done with it. Okay. Okay. So last 30 seconds, guys. Come on. Chal. Done. Now just look at how I read a passage. Okay. So this is something that I will do. Okay. So focus here. So first few lines, it has been proven time and again that when more women enter the workforce, economies grow faster. Is it an opinion? No. Why? Because it is saying that it has been proven time and again. So something sort of factual statement only. Then author explains this, that when women are empowered, the battle to eradicate the poverty is more fruitful, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read the entire passage to bore you, but this is called as setting up the context. Author is not giving the main point here. All the things in green are opinionated statements. So whenever you read, just keep marking them. That those are the only statements that you can underline in the beginning as a reader, we must ensure that all of India's women get equal access to education, equal access to opportunities, and equal pay to work. Author's opinion. Author then explains why he believes this is important. Because he says that once they are empowered, it will ultimately lead to economic prosperity. Third paragraph. Again, if women are not empowered, the nation's economy loses. His opinion. Then he has backed that opinion using some facts that a World Bank report is saying this thing, right? So if you focus, things in green are opinionated, and every time an opinion comes, just above it or below it will be supporting premises or evidences for that why I am saying this particular thing. Okay, right? So if you look at this passage, things in green are author's opinion. How has author built his opinion? Using facts. For example, this is a fact, statistics. Okay, logic or explanation. Okay, so this is the logic. For example, in the second paragraph, he tells why he believes this is important. Logic is given, right? Somewhere explanation is given. So this is how he has done it. What is the main idea? What is the content of the passage? Be very clear about it. Content of the passage is women's participation in workforce. What is author's judgment? I have not done anything. I've just written the summary of all the things in green. That's it. Women are not empowered, then economy will lose. India is striving hard for gender diversity. India is making progress. He has said this is not to say that India has not made progress, even in mining industry, but still there is a lot more to be done. That's it. That's what the entire passage is about. Of course, I'm not saying question will be asked only from these things. Questions can come from the other areas also, but I should be very clear with the main idea. Now, this is the first question. Which of the following statement, if true, best weakens the argument presented in the first paragraph? So your entire focus should be the first paragraph only, the key message of the first paragraph. That's it. Don't get bothered about other things. Okay. So what is the basic information in the first paragraph? It says that when more women enter the workforce, economies grow. That means cause and effect relationship. There is this cause and effect relationship, right? What is the cause? Cause is women entering workforce. What is the effect? Economies grow faster. Now there are two ways. Now this is very important. Next 1 minute is very, very important, guys. I am telling you to how to solve cause and effect के weakening वाले question. Cause and effect के weakening questions को solve करने के there are two ways. Okay. So this is the cause and this is the effect. You are supposed to weaken this. There are only two ways you can weaken a cause and effect relationship. One is saying that actually the cause is not women but something else. So you can say that perhaps something else is a cause, right? So any option which talks about something else as a cause of economies growing faster and not the women could be a weakening case, right? So how to weaken? A leads to B, by saying that it is not A that leads to B, it is actually C that leads to B. That is one way of weakening. If you can find that in the option, mark it. Not, if not, then the other way of weakening is saying that it is not the women that leads to faster economic growth. It is actually the other way around. Whenever economy grow faster, we need more labor, and perhaps then women enter the workforce, kind of thing. So one way of weakening I have told here. Focus here. How to weaken A leads to B? By saying that it is not A that leads to B, it is C that leads to B. Other way is saying that you have identified wrong cause and effect. The two things are happening, but actually you have misinterpreted cause and effect. The relation is other way around. It is the cause is actually the effect and effect is actually the cause, right? So option number one is sorry, option one is not the right answer. Yeah, option number two is the right answer. That a study has found that whenever economy of a country grows, more women enter the workforce. It is saying that the identified relationship is wrong. It is should be inverse relation, right? So right answer is option number two. Three is no way related. GDP is not the right measure. It is not talking about GDP. It is just saying that two things are related. If you are marking GDP, then you should also look for gender diversity. So that is not the argument about, right? It is just a parameter that has been given. Question number two, which of the following can be inferred from the second paragraph of the passage? Focus on the second paragraph. Which of the following can be inferred from the second paragraph of the passage? In India, no women has equal access to education, equal access to opportunities, and equal pay at work. How extreme is it? How extreme? He has discussed about it. No, can't be the answer. In India, women are considered better at taking care of children so that the nation can reap benefit of economic prosperity. Useless option. Women are considered better at taking care of children given. So, not related. There is some correlation between women empowerment in a country and the economic prosperity of that nation. Definitely, this can be said. So, right answer is option three. Next question. As per the passage, which of the following reflect India's government's attitude towards women empowerment? Only focus on India's government's attitude, not on anything else. Which of the following reflects India's government's attitude towards women empowerment? It says that Union government has placed great emphasis on the women empowerment. So what it talks about is a positive thing, that they are doing something good for women empowerment from health, education, and everything. So option should be positive in nature. Indifferent, it can't be the answer. Indifferent means it doesn't matter to me. So it is mattering to them. Na? That's why they are putting emphasis on it. Right? So indifferent can't be the answer. Conservative can't be the answer. Male centric, definitely not. Answer is none of the above. Several times we hesitate sort of when we are marking none of the above. But all the three options are negative and government's attitude is positive. Which of the following can be inferred about the mining industry from the given passage? Mining industry only discussed in the last paragraph. And inference is something which is not directly given, but you can sort of say that yes, this is what it means. Right. So answer is option number A. Traditionally, it has been a male dominated industry. Why? Because it is saying more and more women are taking up unconventional role, whether it is working at mining sites, in manufacturing, or security outfits. Glass ceilings are beginning to shatter. Until recently, this was perceived as men's domain. So answer is option A. Last question of today's session. With which of the following step of government is Bain and Company most likely to agree? So we have to mark as per the Bain and Company. What will they agree to? So focus on where Bain and Company is being mentioned. Give me the answers. What has Bain suggested? It has suggested that female entrepreneurs should be supported. So which of the option talks about supporting female entrepreneurs? It is answer C, making business loans easily accessible to women. Right? So answer is option number C. Now you may feel that everything could be right, but that's what I call. I mean, look at what question is asking. Focus only on that area. And that is why referring back to the passage is very important. Whosoever tells you that referring back to passage is a waste of time, I completely disagree. First time when you read a passage, read fast. Your purpose should be to identify the main idea and organization. And when you are solving the question, every time you need to refer, do not hesitate, because you are getting marks for marking the right answer and not to read the passage. Right? Okay, guys. Um, so that's it for today's session. I hope you liked it. And just in the comment box, if you can tell me, it will be great for me. And next Wednesday, I will come up with something, different. And do check my course, guys, LR Nuggets, because there you will get all the things more structured, right? So thank you, Kushagra. Thank you, Pranshi. Mahendra, we will do discuss this how to solve logical flaw, but these are advanced topic. No point focusing on them right now. Focus right now on basic skills of reading. Okay, chalo guys. So that's it. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the session. So let us meet next week then. Bye.